The last grocery list he ever wrote is still on our fridge. It's been there for 417 days. I counted once, not because I was trying to, but because that's what grief does. It makes you count things. Days since. Steps to the door. Seconds before the tears come. The paper's yellowed now. Edges curled like it's trying to protect itself from being read again. His handwriting, bold but rushed, like he was halfway out the door when he scribbled it. Toothpaste, oranges, sourdough, granola with cherries, something for dinner. That last line wrecks me every time. Something for dinner. Like he thought we had infinite dinners left. Like the future still had shape and seasoning. We always made lists. Not just for groceries. For everything. Movies to watch. Places to visit after 40. Names we'll never use for a dog. He was a list person. He said it made chaos feel more polite. Our grocery routine was sacred. Not exciting, not romantic, just ours. Saturday mornings, coffee in mismatched mugs, arguing about who forgot to plug in the electric toothbrush. And then off to the store with our folded sheet of shared decisions. He'd always push the cart. Slowly. Like we had nowhere better to be. Sometimes he'd hum while browsing. Sometimes he'd pretend to interview vegetables like they were job applicants. Mr. Avocado, I see you're ripe today. Very impressive resume. He made produce aisle poetry. And now I go alone. The first Saturday after the funeral, I tried to be strong. Woke up. Showered. Folded the reusable bags he insisted we keep in the car. Even wrote my own list. But I never made it out the door. I sat on the couch in my coat, holding the keys, wondering how the world could still require oranges. When mine had just collapsed. I didn't try again for 3 weeks. The fridge was empty. The silence, loud. I stood in the store, clutching a cart like it was the only thing keeping me upright. Every aisle was a reminder. The crackers he always picked. The cereal we argued about. The wine he said he'd learn to like but never did. In the produce section, I picked up an orange. And burst into tears. Just collapsed. Between the apples and the kiwis. A woman asked if I needed help. I told her I was just trying to buy fruit, but forgot how to live. She looked at me like I was speaking in code. But I was. Because grief is a language only the broken understand. I left without buying anything. Went home. Made toast. Cried into the sink. And then I remembered something. His list. The last one he ever wrote. It was still in the pocket of his jacket, the one I hadn't touched since the hospital. I found it folded 4 times. Soft from wear. The ink had smudged slightly. Maybe from his fingers, maybe from mine. Holding it felt like holding his hand. So the next week I went back. With his list. I didn't need all of it. We still had toothpaste. I didn't even like that granola. But I bought it all. And I cooked something for dinner. Just for me. I sat at our table. His chair still pulled out slightly the way he always left it. And I ate slowly, like I was still waiting for him to join me. It became a ritual. Every Saturday, I'd take his list. Or rewrite it. Add one thing he loved. Cinnamon rolls. Those awful green olives. The exact kind of rice crackers he claimed were life-changing. It hurt. But it helped. Because the thing no one tells you is, grief doesn't need a stage. It doesn't wait for anniversaries or funerals. It hides in grocery stores. In laundry loads. In the spaces where someone used to be. Sometimes, I'd feel his presence at the store. Not like a ghost. More like a habit that hadn't unlearned itself yet. I'd reach for something and pause. Because I remembered how he'd say, "Don't get the store brand, it tastes like cardboard." And then I'd buy the store brand anyway. Just to argue with him in my head. I started noticing other people. A man whispering to his list like it would whisper back. A girl picking up a brand of soup and putting it down 5 times. An elderly woman buying 2 of everything and staring too long at the wine shelf. Grief isn't invisible. It's just quiet. And everywhere. One day, I brought home a new magnet. It says, "Love doesn't expire." I placed it beside his last list. I don't know why. Maybe because part of me hopes he still checks the fridge. I've made peace with the fact that love doesn't always leave with the body. It lingers. In burned toast. In forgotten avocados. In grocery lists that say more than goodbyes ever could. Now when I shop, I still make lists. In my handwriting. But I always leave a little space at the bottom. And write. Something for dinner. It's not just a meal. It's a promise. That I'm still trying. Still showing up. Still making room for the memory of a man who made errands feel like poetry. My name is Claire. And this is the story of the last grocery list he ever wrote. And the love that still lingers between the lines.